brain cells. And these album covers and the things that she would see just all felt like enemies of intelligence. But there was a chink in that armor. And the chink in that armor was Mike Nichols and Elaine May, because we had the comedy records of Mike Nichols and Elaine May in our house. And we would listen to them. And they were very sharp and entertaining and witty. And my mom wanted to see those Mike Nichols movies. And so I was able to go to R-rated movies with her protecting me from the ticket taker and stuff, saying, is this child 17 or older? It's like, no, he's 13, but I will put my hands over his eyes in the difficult parts or any nudity. So she would talk me in to these R-rated films, particularly the ones of Mike Nichols. Most specifically, The Graduate was one that she brought me to see. And The Graduate had this elixir that affected me hugely. And it was that music was used right in tandem with the characters. And the scenes, even though I wasn't sure what was happening until later, and I kind of became my own filmmaker, the cuts to the music would amplify the scenes and the emotion of the characters.
And here's to you, Mrs. Robinson. Jesus loves you more than you will know.
These Simon and Garfunkel songs that would assist the story with Dustin Hoffman just was thrilling. And I, as a kid, always loved stories with big characters, like Huckleberry Finn. That's a big character for a kid. Music felt to me like a big character, a character that could be in a movie and have as strong of a personality as any of the human beings telling the story. So I fell in love with that holy matrimony of music and movies at that point. Almost Famous, the movie I was able to make later, is about falling in love with music and knowing that was going to be your direction in life. And that was a pursuit that was going to just make your heart swell. Writing about music, meeting Lester Bangs and getting an assignment to write for an actual rock magazine. These were dreams that were coming true for me at a young age. And I was lucky enough to get published in Rolling Stone magazine, which I was kind of too young to buy when I first started trying to get Rolling Stone. I remember there was a guy in a head shop who told me I was too young to purchase Rolling Stone because there was a naked picture of Janis Joplin inside, but he was going to sneak it to me. And he did. And I would sit at the bus stop in downtown San Diego and read Rolling Stone and characters like Lester Bangs or Ben Fong Torres, these writers who would interview my musical heroes. They were explorers, they were huge adventuring characters, these writers. And eventually, through a circuitous path, fighting my way backstage to interview Chris Christopherson and him telling me casually that he was making a movie in Durango with Bob Dylan and Sam Peckinpah, and that Bob Dylan had been recording new music, Bob Dylan who hadn't been making new music. And I called Ben Fong Torres and told him that I had a scoop. I had proof that Bob Dylan was recording and it was in Mexico. And this turned into a little item published in Rolling Stone. And so talking about a dream come true, I couldn't believe that I'd actually been on the phone with Ben Fong Torres and much less gotten into the magazine. This started several years of just being a kid in a candy store. And being able to write about artists I love, the group Yes, the Guess Who, Poco with Richie Furay from the Buffalo Springfield. It was just an amazing time where I gobbled up as many story assignments as possible. One of them was the Allman Brothers Band, who had stopped doing interviews with Rolling Stone because of a bad story that a writer by the name of Grover Lewis had written about them, where he kind of tried to expose them as rednecks and really hurt the band's feelings just about the time that Dwayne, their incredible guitarist and the brother of Greg Allman, died in a motorcycle accident. So the Allman Brothers were like Rolling Stones verboten. But this kid who talked to Dickie Betts said it might be okay. They brought me in.
Para seguir escuchando este audiolibro gratuitamente, haz clic en el enlace de la descripción y podrás escucharlo completo sin coste gracias a la prueba de 30 días de Audible.